Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Well, we have a reveal that the Acolyte was over budget. This is coming from Forbes. It was over budget at $230 million.
Wow. So not the 180 that we've been hearing for a while, but $230 million. Point one.
We'll
wow.
throw
So
that on there.
they have a pretty accurate number. That's not like an
Yeah.
estimation. They have like the actual, like, here's the budget we presented to Disney, or the
Costs
bill, if you will.
Yeah, it says costs were hitting $230.1 million when it was only part of the way through post-production, meaning there was probably still some money after that spent.
So if you're wondering why this show was canceled, it is because not only was it very expensive, it was very, very expensive.
And over budget.
Over budget. Did not bring in the numbers. It was the least viewed finale of all the Disney Plus shows. So
I mean, it
there you
had
go.
a strong opening. First two episodes got the 4.8 million views on launch day, making it the biggest series premiere on Disney Plus that year, according to Deadline.
This year, what has come out this
Mm-hmm.
year on Disney Plus to compete
Yes.
with. Yeah.
It was 7th place in the Nielsen Top 10 charts on its premiere week.
Yeah, it was.
Climbed to the number 1 spot in the second week, but then was booted out of the list entirely.
Was it at the number 1 spot? I don't recall.
It climbed.
That.
Oh, sorry. It climbed 1 spot.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it
was
moved
like,
to 6th place.
Yeah,
not
and then
to the number 1. It went up 1.
Yeah, and then it fell off.
And then it fell off entirely. There were a lot of rumors. It had to do with the online backlash because there were complaints about its quality, which are notable, as well as its diversity, which I don't really think is a big part of it. But Leslie Headland has admitted her show's approach to diversity was deliberate, even extending to the behavior of the characters, with Camille being shown cooking and wearing feminine clothing despite being the villain. She had said it was so wildly intentional that I don't even know what to say.
Well, I do. Don't do that.
I like that
Make
even
Star
Headland has
Wars.
decided that cooking is a feminine thing. That's why having him do it was whoa.
No, I think it's the fact that it is viewed... I don't know. That's a weird one because kind of you have the whole women get back to the kitchen thing, right? Where that's, that's kind of the stereotype or whatever you want to call it, or bad.
Such a weird thing.
Well, yeah, but then you also have the fact that men are less manly for cooking. So who the hell cooks? I cook all the time. So if it's less manly, so be it. And
Mentioned most of the top Michelin chefs and stuff were men.
Well, sure, but you're actually you have certain things you cook very well.
Yes.
Too. Yeah, certain things I'm let me do that. But no, you're fine. I mean, it's we kind of share all responsibilities. To be completely honest with you, we don't really have this is my task or this is what the things I do.
I don't know. The cat litter box is your task.
Okay, that is my task. Yeah.
All right, but let's kind of keep on topic here with the show.
Sorry. Yes.
I mean, the diversity of the show led to it being branded as woke, supposedly driving some Rotten Tomatoes crazy review bombing. Yes, the audience score was at 50%, and then as it kept going, it went down to 18%. But you can't say it's all because of diversity, woke haters. The show wasn't great.
Well, we've talked about this extensively. We've talked about Leslie Headland being a interesting choice considering her. Again, whether or not you want to believe she's guilty or innocent when it comes to the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, it's a bad choice. It's a choice that a lot of people are going to just reject out of hand.
What's funny is they want to blame haters and everything, but if you look at reviews from across different media, the London Times gave The Acolyte a 2 out of 5, driven by the show's somber expositional dialogue.
There was some pretty somber expositional dialogue.
The New York Times said that beneath the familiar trappings, the visceral pull that Star Wars can summon in its best moments doesn't manifest itself. Characters speak in platitudes about loss, grief, loyalty, and revenge, and the cast mostly works down to the level of the dialogue.
That is a solid review right there. Good job, New York Times.
Right.
Because that kind of sums up a lot of my problems. It's not characters as much as it is, let's move the plot along.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say things that do that, and you are going to respond by saying things that will do that as well. It feels like there's no genuine characters. And I mean, Soul a little bit, Camille a little bit, but that is not enough to save a sinking ship.
Rolling Stone said, most of the pieces are uneven at best, if not simply underwhelming.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the thing. This isn't just the online backlash, right? I mean, these are major outlets. Yeah.
Lastly, USA Today said the show is full of logical fallacies, hokey dialogue, and nonsensical plots.
Well, I can certainly agree with the nonsensical.
But they're just haters, right?
Must be, because
we just blame everything on haters, and when you've got major outlets who said that the show didn't work.
Who are parroting a lot of the things that the haters said as well.
What?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there was no unwarranted early backlash to the point where it kind of got ridiculous. You know, like you can say, I don't want to watch this show. These are the reasons why I don't think it looks good. I have a problem with Leslie Headland and so on and so forth. But there was more than necessary, and it did get review bombed. But review bombing is, I mean, does the review score matter? I mean, that's simply...
When everyone knows it's just going to get bombed one way or the other?
Even still, I mean, how many people do you think, well, I was going to watch that, but the review scores are low? I don't think really that many people go to Rotten Tomatoes and, like, make a judgment based on... I mean, some do.
I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is review bombing is simply a way of expressing some sort of...
anger or disagreement.
Disappointment. Yeah, disagree. Something with the project. That is how you do it. I mean... You can disagree or agree with that being a way to do it, but it is.
What's fun to keep in mind is last year in November, Bob Iger said that, quote, its creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be. We have to entertain first. It's not about messages. Infusing messages is not what we're up to.
Well, if that's the case, then Leslie Headland has
He echoed that again in April of this year.
Well, that's what they need to do. Just make good shows. Hire good writers. There are so many people out there who would just kill to do a Star Wars show, who would pour every ounce of passion and love for the franchise, and they're talented people too. It's not just, rando fan off YouTube. I'm not saying that. But just get the right people in there who don't care about all the BS, who just want to tell a great Star Wars story, who are talented and can create good characters in this universe, and the franchise will flourish. I fully believe that.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. Yeah, the whole thing.
It's this weird desire to, I have to prove a point with Star Wars about the world we live in and how bad it is. Well, we know the world isn't perfect.
You're looking to make a documentary then? You're not looking to make a piece of fantasy.
Yes. Star Wars, my argument is that, yes, Star Wars is political in nature. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying Lucas didn't put political messages in there that weren't relevant to the times. But a lot of them were kind of universal messages. The thing is, Star Wars has become its own thing. It should be a reflection upon itself. That's what people want Star Wars to be. They don't want it to be, well, it's 2024, so Star Wars has to change. No, it's in universe. I want Star Wars to be what the culmination of all these other things have led to, what it is built to, what it is, its foundation. I don't want it to be based on what happened yesterday in our world.
I can agree with all of that. Makes a lot of sense.
That is what most fans are upset about, that it has become something...
spend $230 million...
It's insane.
To make things that aren't up to the standards that fans hold Star Wars to.
Well, that doesn't, the $230 million doesn't explain the writing. Writing is kind of, in a sense, independent of that. Where did the $230 million... I don't watch that show and go, wow, this is like watching Rings of Power. Rings of Power is not a good show either. But damn, does it look good.
It looks very good.
I can see you spent money on this, a lot of money. But I watch Acolyte, which is far shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And, I would say comparatively, they're probably spending about... And I could be way off, but... My guess is they're probably spending about the same amount per, minute of show or hour of show, right? We know Rings of Power has a crazy budget, but most episodes are an hour long, where most Acolyte were a half hour. So you're how come one show looks gorgeous, has great music, everything about it looks great for the most part?
Mm-hmm.
How does the other show look like it was filmed in, in film class? You know what I'm saying? It looks kind of just generic.
I don't know. They got some big name stars in there, so obviously some of the budget went to that and that. But where did the rest of the money go?
Where did the money
go? Where did it go?
I want to see that budget. I want to see where every dollar and cent went, because something's wrong.
Not quite right here. No.
But anyway, I think that's going to be all we got for this time. We've talked enough about the Acolyte. This is just a really
interesting aside, yeah.
Yes, it is. So
to find out that they went over budget, and that's not even the final number, because that's what they hit halfway through post-production, which means they still spent money after that.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, take to the comments below. Tell us what you think about this news about how much the Acolyte cost, or how much it may have cost. It was a little more, actually. Whatever the case may be, leave a comment below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.